Okay, welcome to part 3. Just so I can keep you guys updated, what I did was duplicate the background, remove the blemishes on the face, fix the hair up a little bit, and then did micro dodging and burning. Now we are going to do frequency separation. Before we get started, we're going to press on the Mac Command Option Shift E. And that just merges everything into a new layer. Okay, so now to do frequency separation, we're going to press Command J, which duplicates the layer. We're going to take the first one and name that color. We're going to double click on the other layer and name that texture. And basically the way frequency separation works is it separates the image into two layers. So on the bottom layer, you have nothing but color, lightness and darkness. And then on the top, you have the texture. So we can kind of attack different things separately. So now that we have the texture and the color layer here, we're going to turn the texture off. We're going to click on the color. We're going to zoom in on her face and look for an area that has a lot of texture. It's usually the nose area. Hey, I'm going to call you in a couple of minutes. I'm recording a video. All right. Okay, so the part that has a lot of texture to me are like these areas underneath her eyes. So what we're going to do is go to filter, noise, and then go to median. And what we're trying to do is bring up this number until we don't see texture. So we're at 7 now. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, I think maybe 12. So that removed most of the texture to me. Yep, we'll go with 12. Now we're going to turn the texture layer back on. We're going to go to layer. Where's apply layer? Oh, not layer. We go to image, apply image. Okay. And basically what we want to do for layer, we want to go to the color layer. And then since we're working with a 16-bit image, which is a raw image, you want to make sure your blending mode says add, the scale says 2, the offset 0, and then you click invert. So basically what you want to see is the texture just on one layer. And for the most part, you want the color to be gray. If the lips are showing a different color or the eyes, that's perfectly fine. As far as the skin though, this shows you if you picked the right number for your previous step, which was the selecting the radius. So now we're going to press OK, and then we're going to change this blending mode from normal to linear light. Now we're going to press Command, select both layers, and press Command G to turn it into a group, and we're going to call this frequency separation. So I'm going to turn this off and on so you can see there is no difference. So we successfully created two separate layers, the colors by itself and the texture by itself. Now what I'm going to do is, you know what? Let's close this for now and zoom out. So I want for you to look at her skin. Basically, I just want to make sure that the highlights and the shadows don't have like a sharp line in between them. We want to make sure everything blends in seamlessly and it looks aesthetically pleasing. So to help us with that, we're going to create a another check layer like we did in video 2. So this was that check layer. So we're going to turn that off for now. We're going to go to adjustments, curves. We're going to take the highlights up. We're going to take the shadows down. And then we're going to create another layer, hue saturation, and get rid of some of this distracting color. And then we're going to create one more layer, levels. We're going to add some more light to this. Mess with the midtones a little bit. I think right about here should be good. And maybe the shadows. So let's select all of these layers, press Command G to turn it into a group, and we'll call this check layer 2. Okay, so before check layer, after check layer. Now keep in mind, this check layer is only here to help us. We can delete it as soon as we're done. So I'm going to go into this color layer here. I'm going to select my brush tool. I'm going to press and hold down so I can select mixer brush. And these are my settings here, 20, 25, 20, 25, and then 0. This first thing isn't checked, the second one is, and then this is to clean my brush. So to do this, it's like applying makeup. You don't want to be so zoomed in. I think about here is good. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started. So basically I'm looking for these sharp lines and I want to make sure they're not so sharp. So sometimes I might go left to right, sometimes I might go up and down. And like I keep on saying, I'm working on multitasking. I haven't been too successful with that. So if you hear, a brief pause or some time goes by without me speaking, give me a little grace. So far, let's see where we're at. Before, after. So once I get it to where it at least looks decent, then I'm going to go ahead and go in for a round 2. And a round 2 is when I would zoom in. Okay, I feel like it's time for round 2. Now keep in mind, I'm not retouching her neck, her décolleté, or anything like that. I'm just focusing on the main parts of her face. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on this layer, drag it down, boom, and that just duplicates it. And then I'm going to press Option in between these two layers. All I have to do is click, and that merges this to the previous layer. So this would be, you don't have to name this, but I'm just going to name it round 2. If I don't like it, I can always delete it, and I'll be back to this point. Okay, so now let's zoom in. I'm turning off my texture so that I can see a little better without distractions. So the objection, well, the whole goal of this step is to make the skin look plastic. Because keep in mind, we turn our texture off, so we shouldn't be able to see anything that resembles any texture. Any parts of the makeup that weren't blended in right, we'll go ahead and fix it with this step right here. This is looking really good. Sometimes I like to hit the lips as well. Not too much though, just to kind of make them look a little more smooth. I'm really liking this. Now I'm going to hit the eyebrows and kind of make sure they look filled in. Let's hit the nose again. I'm gonna keep on saying it, but I really like how this is looking. So let's zoom out a bit and let's see before the second round. Boom. Now let's go ahead and add the texture back. And now let's zoom in, and keep in mind we already removed the blemishes before, but now that we smoothen out the skin, there's going to be a few blemishes that we forgot about. So let's press current layer and just work on these. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out. So for the frequency separation, this is before, this is after, before, after. So now we're going to turn our check layer off. And remember, we could have used this check layer as well. So before, after, before, after. Let's go ahead and turn that check layer off and zoom out. This is before frequency separation. This is after frequency separation. So also keep in mind, this was the first round of frequency separation for the mixing of the colors, and this was with the second round. So if you want to lessen the effect, you can always bring this down to maybe about 70%. Everything still looks realistic. So now we're going to go ahead and press, once again, Command Option Shift E. So let's go from the beginning of how we started off to now. And now that we're done with that, I kind of want to fix the background. So let's work on that. Well, as far as frequency separation, that part of the video is over. You can stick around to see, what else I do to this image. I'm going to press Command J. I'm going to select the subject. Okay, now that the subject is selected, I want to press this mask button. Now this is the subject by herself. Now I'm going to press Command to make that same selection over. And now I'm going to go here and I'm going to press Option with the mask, which does the opposite. So this is what this is. So now I can kind of mess with just this. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. You know what? I'm going to merge everything together. I don't know how I just did that. Let's try this again just a second. I went back a step. So this is that. Oh, I know what to do. Command J again. I'm going to take this one, press Command, or select the subject. And what I'm going to do is right click. Do I want to do content aware fill? I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't want to confuse you guys, so just disregard. I'm going to press my brush tool and I'm going to just work on this top layer right here. I'm going to go to Mixer Brush. I'm going to turn on this layer right here. And I'm going to go to my patch tool. And all I'm going to do is just clean this up a bit. Okay. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and turn this check layer off. I still don't really like this. You know what? Let's merge everything together and do another frequency separation. Where's the last frequency separation? We're going to go ahead and delete that. I'm just going to stop the video.